Good day. Welcome to Mind Pilot. Today, I'm going to start out talking about brain health. That may seem kind of odd, but how do you know if you have a healthy brain? I'm not talking about neurologically healthy. I am talking about mental health healthy. So, one of the biggest fears that people who are experiencing a lot of anxiety or PTSD often have is being alone. They are afraid of their own brain, and in many ways, they keep things so busy that they don't have to deal with their own brain. So that's one key red flag that you can pay attention to, and we'll talk about it a little bit about what to do about it in this session. The other thing is, if you want to be alone all the time and not talk to anybody, that's not a good sign either. So people who are really depressed, they tend to isolate. They tend to not want to have anything to do with anyone else. And there's some significant problems with that. So that's also a red flag. Do you have a good mix of work friends, home friends, a good relationship with your significant other or spouse? Do you feel good most of the time? Probably have some pretty good brain health. Do you feel anxious or irritable or angry or mad at the world most of the time? Probably need to cool down your system a little bit. So it's really important to check in with yourself and find out how you're doing. Because once you find out how you're doing, then you can put a plan together to begin to resolve the issues, fix the issues, minimize the issues, whatever it is. But you can put together a plan. If you don't know what's going on, then it's hard to put together a plan. So, what if you never want to be alone? Well, that is common with people that have high anxiety, or maybe they have very low self-esteem. Maybe they feel very uncomfortable in their own skin or their own shoes, so to speak. So you have to ask yourself, why is it that you don't ever want to be alone? Because it could come from a number of different areas. It could come from being afraid of being lonely all your life. It could come from wanting to distract your brain so it won't keep thinking about stuff you don't want to think about. It could be because you have a lot of grief and you don't want to deal with the grief. And so you are keeping very busy so you don't have to hurt. So why is it that you don't want to be alone? In the past, when you've been alone, what was that like? Did your mind go off on rabbit holes and tangents that you couldn't get back out of, that were very dark? Did you begin to feel like life is hopeless and why bother? Did you get very anxious and have panic attacks? What is it about being alone? Why am I even talking about this? Why is this important? Because when you trust your own brain and you feel like, okay, I can take care of things, when you trust yourself to make good decisions, to keep yourself safe, and I'm not just talking about physically safe, although that's part of this. I'm also talking about emotionally safe. Do you set good boundaries with people? Do you take care of your physical health? Do you take care of your mental health? In other words, do you take mental breaks? Do you put good stuff into your brain? People that don't want to be alone and are running from their own brain tend to have a lot of stuff piled up on their plate. So what do you do with that? Well, we've had a number of episodes that address this in different ways. But the main thing is you got to find out what is on your life plate. I know that sounds kind of weird, but do you have a lot of things that you are trying to go to sleep at night and they're kind of ping-ponging around in your brain? What about this? What about that? What about this? What am I going to do that? If that's the case, then you need to write them all down, and you need to figure out which are in your control and which are not in your control. The ones that are in your control, make a plan. Maybe it's not something you have to deal with for 6 months. Okay, then make a plan and put it in your calendar to deal with it in 6 months. Maybe it's something that you've been avoiding and you really should have dealt with it a week ago. Okay, get it done. Make a plan, get it done. Because that stuff sits in your brain and it sits on your shoulders, metaphorically, so that life feels heavy. So take one thing at a time and make a plan. Figure out how you're going to resolve it. You don't have to do that in one day. You don't have to do that in a month. But do it little by little, so slowly you're getting things removed from your plate that are burdening you or are responsibilities that you have to address. Do it a little bit at a time, but get it done. The things that you can't do anything about, put them in a box. If you want to pray over them, fine. Or just lock them in a box and say, you know what? I'm not dealing with you anymore. You go in the box because I can't do anything about you. Spending a lot of time and energy worrying about things that you can't control really exhaust people. So if you haven't spent any time alone, start slowly. Spend an hour. Spend 30 minutes. Maybe watch something funny. Maybe listen to some happy music. Maybe take a walk. But allow your brain to just kind of calm down, to cool down. And so that your clarity of thought will get much better. So many people currently just run. They go here to here to here to here to here to here. The kids have this, the spouse has this, they've got this, and they kind of get home and plop into bed and hope to God it works out. You're going to have to create the time. Sometimes it means telling people no. Sometimes it means taking breaks. Sometimes it means scheduling those breaks in to your calendar, to your daily life, to your weekly life. But make sure that you're starting to allow your brain to have some alone time so that it isn't always having input, which means please put your cell phone down for just a little bit. It can only be 30 minutes. You don't have to do it forever. But constant input continually stresses the brain. It's kind of like having, a knee injury or a foot injury, a back injury. It needs to have some downtime to heal, and so does your brain. Now, if you're wanting to spend all your time alone, then you have to ask yourself, why is that? Are you feeling really hopeless? Are you feeling helpless? One of the comments I've made in this program, and I'll make probably 100 more times, if you're depressed, you have to do everything that you don't want to do, pretty much, to get yourself pulled out of depression. What is that? Go exercise. Go walk around the block. Call your best friend. Go to the barbecue. Go out to eat with somebody. Go have coffee with somebody. Reconnect to the world. Open those drapes. Get some sunshine in. Don't isolate, because when you isolate, you're alone with your own thoughts. And if your thoughts are really, really negative, there's nobody interfering with those thoughts. And that takes people down very dark rabbit holes. So get moving. Get up, get out of bed, get outside. Go see a friend. Go to the movies. Go play golf. Go fishing. Do whatever it is you do. But don't just isolate, sit in the house and drink, which is what many people do when they're depressed, because it'll make you feel worse. This isn't like a political statement on my part. This isn't me, mothering you, for a lack of a better term. It's just you will wake up in the morning feeling worse, and you already feel bad enough. Make a commitment to do something different. Make a commitment to call that friend you haven't called in 6 months. Make a commitment to go to your kid's game. Or, I don't know, meet up with a colleague. Go have coffee. Go do something. Get out of the house and away from that darkness that can overwhelm people when they get depressed. Depression's very treatable. And in fact, they have shown over and over and over, exercise is as effective, if not more effective, than antidepressants. It's very treatable. The problem is it saps your energy. It saps your will to want to get out and do things. And so people tend to just kind of shut down. And so it's difficult to get up and moving. But I can tell you this, take little small steps. Go to the grocery store today. You know, you don't have to do big things, right? Go buy some milk at the convenience store. Get out of the house for a little bit. Take a walk around the block if you can. Go to the gym if you have a gym membership for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Doesn't have to be like an hour and a half workout. Just get out and away from things so it disrupts those negative thought patterns. You can do this. So again, and we're going to talk more about this, but it's important to evaluate your brain health. How are you doing? Are other people giving you feedback? Are they saying, you know, I'm worried about you? Don't get mad at them. Listen, especially if they're people that love you or care about you. Don't get mad. Don't push them away. Listen to what they're saying. Because we don't evaluate our own brain very well because we're evaluating it with our own brain. So if you have a good friend that says, you know, I'm really worried about you, listen to them. Start taking action. Make a plan so that you will feel better, so that you can get better. The good thing is, most mental health conditions are very treatable. You can do this, but you have to take that first step of evaluation. I hope this helps. You have the right to be happy. You truly do. You have the right to have a good life. But stay in touch with yourself. Take that moment and self-evaluate. And then make a plan. You're awesome. Thank you for everything that you do. I hope you subscribe. Take care. This is Dr. Jana Price-Sharps from Mindfulness.